Commanders. We fight for RDC. Who are we? The Commanders. 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 Best of the best of the best.
If I could show you the top of the world, all of the things I've seen, every long and winding road, all that I gave up to get what I got, and maybe you'll understand why I'm never gonna stop. The best of the best of the best. We are not to say the best of the best of the best. 'Cause I am not like you. The best of the best of the best. To know what it takes to get to the end, losing it all to fight for the win again. Playing with fire and running up there. It's a border of flame inside their brain. The best of the best of the best. Let's write something we are meant to say. The best of the best of the best. Come on. 'Cause I am not like you. The best of the best of the best. Best of the best of the best. The best of the best of the best. We are meant to say the best of the best of the best. The best to live, the best to life, the best to ever will be. You know it's true. 'Cause I am not like you. The best of the best of the best.
The best of the best of the best. A song that encapsulates a memorable season for the Washington Commanders faithful. And indeed, in another game against the Dallas Cowboys, it came down to the final moment. And the Washington Commanders saved their best or last. No need to fear, Commanderlorain fans. The flag is on here. It is not our last Washington Commanders postgame show because we got at least one more week as the Commanders have locked up and clinched the number 6 seed in the NFC playoffs. We'll await either the Los Angeles Rams or Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're going to talk all about it. The Commanderlorain is ready. God's favorite host is ready. Week 18 Commanders under leadership of the second unit led by Marcus Mariota get a win. 23-19, 12-5. They're on their way to the playoffs. If you're new here, or if you've been here before, you know the drill. Go ahead, Stefan. That's the top button. Go ahead and tap that thumbs up. Helps out tremendously. Let's that bell. We got a busy week coming up. Wild card week. We're going to have a lot of content with those Commanders. Sound off in the chat down below. Let us know your thoughts on the Commanders. Proving to 12-5. Getting a 23-19 victory, clinching the number 6 seed. Section Podcast. Let's get to it.
Commanders. Left field.
Happy Sunday. The first Sunday, Crevonte, I just realized this, in the year of 2025, and is the last regular season football Sunday, as we are at the end for a lot of teams. For what is that going to be? 16 teams is going to be at home after today with nothing else to play for, getting ready for the draft. And the remaining 14, 7 in the AFC, 7 in the NFC, which will include those Washington Commanders and Crevonte, not the Dallas Cowboys. You wanted them, you got them, and you finally defeated the Dallas Cowboys, and you're headed to the playoffs, clinching the number 6 seed. Crevonte, 12 and 5.
Fight for RDC, who are we? The Commanders. Commanders.
Well, now that's goofy. Stupid. Just stupid. Jam. Oh, jam.
How you feeling, Crevonte?
It wasn't ideal. It was not ideal, but I will take the victory every single time. So I think it's about 18. There will be 18 teams that'll be at home.
Yeah, my math is probably off. Yeah.
And now I had to think about two. I was like,
A lot of numbers, a lot of buttons and things.
It's a lot of 30s. A lot of the associations and leagues are 30 or 32, and
you're right, 18.
So there's 32 of us. So yeah, it's 7 and 7, 14, 18, whatever. But good. It was shaky. It was shaky. Shaky. I'll take the win, and also shout out to Ted McLaurin breaking the franchise record for receiving touchdowns and getting me anytime touchdowns at the buzzer, pretty much. And Marcus Mariota.
Congrats to your money first and foremost, Crevonte. Can't bury the lead there, but of course to the Commanders and Scary Terry.
Every time.
The Ohio State, by the way, having a pretty good run, Crevonte. I'm sure we'll get to that this week. Got some, Final Four things to talk about.
Oh yeah, for sure. And shout out to Marcus Mariota filling in, man, because man, I don't know what was going on in the first half. It was shaky.
Go Google it.
You said
That's
Marcus
him right
Mariota?
there.
Oh,
That's him right there.
Hold on, let me get you on the big screen so the people can see him do his thing. There you go. Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
There he is.
There he is. Yes. But yes, Scary Terry and Marcus Mariota.
He came in that Panthers game, and led the team in that victory, and came in the second half. Offense was dead. Picked it up a little bit. So shout out to Marcus Mariota getting us over the hump, because we needed this win.
Marcus Mariota throws a 5-yard touchdown pass to Scary Terry McLaurin with 3 seconds left, thus giving him the record, as Crevonte mentioned. Washington with the 23-19 victory over the Commanders, clinching the 6th seed. Threw 2 touchdowns, did Mariota, ran for another. He did replace Jaden Daniels after halftime, as seeding was the only thing on the line. Dan Quinn operated under wisdom instead of trying to go out and just put up numbers. And they didn't even need a Crevonte, because it turns out with Green Bay's loss to Chicago on a late field goal, of course Chicago would help out the Commanders somehow after that Hail Mary, and they hadn't won a game since that, and then they lose, and then they can't win, then they beat the Packers for the last game of the season, helping you all out indirectly. They win, they still what? It's crazy how this works out, but
right.
Nevertheless,
so the Packers.
Yes.
Now you're right, because I was watching the game, and I saw their score box in the corner, and I saw, the Packers took the lead.
Bro, I wanted to pick the Packers on Monday. I'm not going the Bears on Monday, but I was like, I've already kind of, you kind of beat me, but I was like, watch they win this, and they did.
Right. And I
Of
saw
all
that
week.
the Packers were up, and I was like, oh, it's not the Packers won. Or the Packers are about to win. Then I see the Bears up 24-22. What just happened? So yeah, that was crazy. So pretty much with that loss, we were going to get to 60 anyway.
So you guys go to either Tampa or LA. So warm weather, Crevonte, and places that Commanders fan will travel to. We know LA, but Tampa, we know Rodgers out there with the Ravens this year. The Commanders fans going to travel to Florida. Beautiful weather. Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely. We have a great opportunity to have our fan base there to support either way for whoever it is. So, like I said, I'm very, very excited about that. And the Packers seemingly look like they're limping into the playoffs. So I don't know, man. That matchup against the Eagles may not fare too well for them.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting game. Rematch of the Week 1 Brazil game. We'll be talking about that. Jaden Daniels was 6 of 12 for 38 yards when he went to the bench. Mariota finished 15 of 18, Crevonte, 161 yards, a 33-yard run that helped set up the game-winning score. That was a 91-yard drive, by the way. We did see Trey Lance, 20 of 34, 244 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. His first start since the preseason, which he threw 5 interceptions in that preseason finale as well. Crevonte, what do you think about the future potentially of Trey Lance? I know we like to look at things from obviously Commander's perspective, but we cover every team in a way. Trey Lance gets to start today. I was surprised by that. We kind of talked about it last night. Is he going to be someone that teams go after this whole season? I mean, is he going to be? What is his purpose?
That's crazy. That's a crazy question. What is his purpose? I
I
think
don't know.
I think he's a backup. I think he's going to be a career backup. I think it was a reach. I've been on record saying that it was a head scratcher for me for them reaching Shanahan and them reaching to get him and give up all that draft capital. I was like, what did y'all see that I didn't see? You know what I'm saying? Because I did not think he was that great or amazing. Plus, didn't he go to North Dakota?
Yes, and played like 1 year, Crevonte.
Yeah, you play in the FCS and you only play 1 year. Like, there's no way I'm giving up all that capital for that guy. Like, I'm picking him wherever he falls. Because I honestly would like to see everybody's big board. I would like to see everybody's big board and everybody's draft board from that year to see where they had Trey Lance. Because I'm pretty sure wherever they was at, they probably could have stayed there. Because I didn't think he didn't wow anybody. I guess
I remember my Crevonte. He was 5 for me. He was last on mine.
You know what I'm saying?
I had Mac Jones ahead of him.
I guess they thought he was gonna be like a Carson Wentz because Carson Wentz went to the school as well. But I thought that was goofy, very, very goofy. But they had some wiggle room and they had a pretty good roster. So I guess they felt they could reach right there. But I thought that was absolutely absurd because I don't see it. I think he will be a career backup unless he goes somewhere where somebody was going to give him a legit chance. But you know how the NFL is. They don't give people a bunch of chances and an opportunity to really, you know what I'm saying, show who they are. And he can play football, but is he a top 32 at quarterback? I don't think so. I'm not sure. So I think where he's at now, not saying Dallas, but his position being a third to second string quarterback, I think that's where he's going to remain.
We talked about it last night. Mike McCarthy's contract comes to an end. He did have 3 straight 12-win seasons, finishes 7-10. Micah Parsons, we did see him sack Daniels on the first play of the game, actually, and then got him 2 plays later, so sacked him twice on the same drive. 4th player with double-digit sacks in the first 4 seasons. The other 3 are Pro Football Hall of Famers. Real quick, also Brandon Aubrey, the new flavor of the month with kickers. He's been fantastic. None of his kicks were from 50 yards, but he holds what is now the NFL record for most from that distance, 50 yards or more at 14, beating the previous record by 13 as well. So what do you think about Dallas? Obviously, the ownership isn't changing like we saw with the Commanders.
No.
They are going to be picking not even top 10 probably now with 7 wins. They're going to be outside of the top 10.
Yep.
What do you think about their future? Are they now the 3rd best team at best in this division, even with a healthy Dak next year, and probably maybe drafting Genty if he falls to them, or some, splash pick like they like to do in the first round?
Sure. Let me see. I think Cowboys. So they played this terribly, getting out the top 10. Now they're pretty much middle of the pack. Genty, it can be in their sights depending on, he's gonna be pretty sought after, you know what I'm saying, running back. I think he's RB1 in the draft, and please y'all watch out, look out for our draft profiles when they come. We break down different players, different NFL prospects coming out of college, and we're pretty much gonna do a profile, do their own individual profile, and where we think they're gonna go in the draft, and what we think teams are gonna do. And Genty, just like when Zeke came out, he was on the Cowboys. I knew he was on the Cowboys radar. Genty may be on the Cowboys radar as well. Now, how high will he go? Will, draft order hasn't been determined yet, but it'll be interesting to see how it unfolds. But a couple quarterbacks gonna go. Travis Hunter's gonna go. Genty could possibly fall to the Cowboys, but they're in no man's land, because trust me, when management is bad, and this is not even just the Cowboys, this is not just football, this is not just sports, this is with anything. When upper management is bad, typically the organization is bad. And Jerry Jones being the owner, he's gonna he's gonna die being the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, and it's going to end up going to somewhere in his family. It's going to stay in the Jones family. So unless they have a completely opposite view of Jerry Jones, their future is always going to be this. They'll have great players from time to time. They'll put up good numbers during the season, but this what we see from Dallas the past couple years is their ceiling. And of course, this is they're not the floor, because they could get worse, but their ceilings, what we've seen the previous 3 years, is their ceiling, because upper management is bad. And as long as Jerry Jones is alive and kicking it, this is what it's going to be. And even when he's gone, I don't know what the mindset of Stephen Jones, I believe his son, and I think is there Jerry Jones Jr. in there?
I think there's another Jones in there somewhere as well, but Steven helps with the drafting and developing like GM roles. So yes.
So I don't know how much say so he's
drafted well, Crevonte. He has drafted well. CD, getting Trayvon Diggs, getting these other guys. I mean, Dotto today, he has over 1,000 yards at the running back position. They don't really even need a running back. They kind of have pieces.
And
CD,
picking a running back at that, especially at that high in the draft, is kind of a luxury pick. Yeah. And most teams are not in that position to do so. But
Zach Martin, Tyron Smith. I mean, they've drafted some ballers. Micah Parsons.
And it's been the management drafting. They've been pretty good. You're right.
Even Dak in the 4th round, like, he was passed up by so many teams multiple times. This guy turns out to be a top 10 quarterback, depending on how. I mean, just saying, it's crazy how it works out.
So there in management is so many things that you have to look after. Jerry Jones is a hell of a businessman. On the business side of the game, he does that damn well. Like on the money, operations, all that non-football stuff, he does that very well. The football stuff, you'd like to see him take a back seat on. And if Stephen Jones has a football operations mindset and that's different from his pops, then maybe their future is bright. But Jerry Jones he's going to leave. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to leave with this close to his chest. So the Cowboys are probably 3rd in this division, especially with the ascending of Jaden Daniels. And Commanders finally got a quarterback, so it's only up from here. The Eagles are probably still in the one spot, Commanders 2, and Dallas 3, and 4. The Giants will continue to run in circles in the cellar.
All right, enough about the Cowboys. Let's get back to the Commanders. As mentioned, Jaden Daniels 6 of 12. Did you like Campbell or Dan Quinn, excuse me, benching most of the starters? Well, Jaden Daniels, at least in the second half. Thought it was okay.
I'm cool with it. Because as the game goes on, that's one of those things where it's like something dumb is going to happen. He'll get hurt, and it'll be pointless. You know what I'm saying? So, and Marcus Mariota, I really like it because Marcus Mariota is a great backup. He's a great back because he can do a lot of the same things that Jaden Daniels can do, and he knows the offense just as well. So if you're gonna bench Jaden Daniels, Marcus Mariota is a great guy that you would like to have, leading the team because he can do that. He's a former Heisman Trophy winner. He's been a starting quarterback in this league. He's been around a couple of places, but he understands his role, and him being a leader, he has experience in it. So, and as you can see, this is the second game really where he's able to lead the team to victory. So I'm cool with that, and I think Dan Quinn knows that as well. Like, hey, I got a guy who's competent and can lead this team to victory. And and we can preserve Jaden Daniels as much as we can. So I'm cool with the decision. It's not, he's been making a lot of great decisions. There's not many that I look at it. It's like, damn, that was a boneheaded decision. Outside of that fourth down call when we played the Eagles the first time, outside of that call. But for the most part, Dan Quinn has been doing a pretty good job with his decision making.
Well, Crevonte, the running game today really is something I'm looking at. Okay. Brian Robinson, 5 carries, 10 yards. Eckler was back today, 3 for 12. Jaden Daniels, 4 for 27. Mariota got the bulk of it, 5 for 56. Seems like over the last few weeks, the running game, outside of Jaden Daniels, because he pretty much can get his any way he wants, the running game, I think that is something that's going to have to get better. But Eckler's back, putting him with Robinson. Now you can kind of get back to what it was before the Eckler injury, hopefully moving into the playoffs, because you're going to have to run the ball.
Absolutely. We're not going to win. We're not going to win against anybody with that type of production. Now that's a mixture between injuries on the offensive line. We talked about it yesterday. Tyler Badass didn't play, and he was inactive, and Cornelius Lucas was inactive as well. So there's not much chemistry and continuity, you know what I'm saying, on the offensive line. So I wasn't expecting a big turnout, but this has to get better. Absolutely has to get better. And we did get some good news. If we really needed this game, those two probably would have played. So I like it. I like them playing, and whoever we play, I like them in that game. Like, I think they'll play. They'll be active in that game. But we have to get better. Also, Eckler getting back, he has to get his feet wet all over again. Brian Robinson's his production has gone down. So hopefully moving forward, we could be more productive, because if we can't run the ball, Jaden Daniels he's mess around and get himself hurt. And we don't want that, because that means he's going to have to pass the ball more. He's going to have to run the ball more, and he's going to put himself out there in harm's way. So we need to get back to how balanced we were pre-Eagles, pre-Steelers, and all that. But that's for that gives us our best chance to win, and Jaden Daniels to make out the game healthy.
Roker, let's get to the injuries, Crevonte, because I do not want to lead that out. We did see Brandon Coleman leave with an injury. He was questionable to return a knee, and it looks like Frankie Louvu did leave, but he did come back as well. How do you feel from an injury perspective? Looks like you said, the other guys, if you needed them, they will be back. Injury-wise, you are getting healthier heading into the playoffs, though.
Yeah, so Coleman and Frankie Louvu, they both returned. They both were able to come back into the game. So that's always good. That's always encouraging. It's not as bad as, initially thought. For the most part, we are relatively healthy. We just need Marshawn Lattimore to get on to get that hamstring together. You know what I'm saying? I wish we could wrap it up in bubble wrap. But he's really the big one, where it's like, man, if we had him, we really could make some noise. But for the most part, we are healthy. But that's a big one. Like, we signed him to a contract. We paying him. You know what I'm saying? So we really hoping that he get that hamstring together and he can be serviceable and effective when the playoffs come. But on the injury side, I'm cool with the injury report.
If you're just joining us, welcome to the Washington Commanders postgame show. We do this after each Commanders game, win or loss, no matter when they play. Make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you hit that like button. It helps us out tremendously, and it costs you nothing, as everything in the world is so expensive. Vote on a poll. Let us know how you think the Commanders will do in the playoffs. How far do they go? Crevonte, you saw the video just up of Zach Ertz. Obviously, we talked about Scary Terry McLaurin breaking the franchise record. He has had a running mate this year that we thought may have been on the downside. Zach Ertz, 5 receptions, 44 yards. So good in the red zone. So reliable. A touchdown today. Like I mentioned, McLaurin, 62 yards, touchdown. And how about Zacchaeus? Not many catches, but it seems to be that guy, Crevonte, that just every game, he makes that one play that jumps out to you. Today, he had a big 29-yard reception. He makes that play that can change the momentum of a game on third down, a long pass. When you need a play, Zacchaeus is turning into that guy. You kind of have something there. You get Eckler back. We know how good he is as a receiver. Dami Brown even had a couple catches today. What do you think about this receiving core going up against some defenses that, got some pieces?
Sure. Zacchaeus, he is the definition of the next man up, because my gosh, we've had some injuries at our at wide out this year. Thank the heavens, Terry McLaurin has been healthy for the better part of this year, because Noah Brown went down, De'Ami Brown went down, and Zacchaeus just came in and stepped right up. Luke McCaffrey, I like to see him more. I guess he's been more of a special teams guy over the past couple weeks, but I like to see him more active in the passing game. And I was going to say I see Crowder, but I don't see enough of Luke McCaffrey. I don't know if he's not showing up on the practice side of the game or what, but it's Terry McLaurin and the Temptations at wide receiver, man, because my God, I promise you, outside Terry McLaurin, the average fan can't name our receivers. Even after the Maryland Miracle or the Miracle Orlando or whatever we call it, they didn't know who caught that ball. They just know it was somebody in black on black, and he played for the Commanders. You know what I'm saying? So we are really doing it by committee, like everybody getting touches, especially if Jaden Daniels has anything to do with it. He gonna throw it to open. But he loves Terry McLaurin down the field and Zach Ertz pretty much everywhere else. So literally doing it offensively, we're doing it by committee with our pass catchers, and we gonna need every bit of them. But Zach Ertz has had a hell of a year. Very, very consistent. He probably had a couple games where he had problems with drops, but as a whole, he's very solid tight end. We wasn't sure at the beginning of the year how productive he would be. We thought he was on a decline, but he's been a great security blanket for Jaden Daniels, and very, very consistent, especially in that damn red zone. We absolutely love Zach Ertz in the red zone. And Zacchaeus, OZ, not Oz, found that out. Cliff Kingsbury found it out. I heard an interview of his where De'Ami Brown actually came up to him and was like, yeah, he doesn't like being called Oz. It's actually OZ. So shout out to OZ, stepping up, next man up, and just being there where he's needed. Because we don't have no heavy hitters except for Terry McLaurin, you know what I'm saying, on the outside, and Zach Ertz. He's a vet in this league, but we don't have no scary guys. So like I said, the average fan doesn't don't know any about receivers outside of Scary Terry. So but they're productive, and that's all that matters. It's not about names, it's about production. So I'm pretty confident offensively. As long as that offensive line is healthy, I like our chances offensively.
Let's get to the defensive side of the ball, Crevonte. How about Jeremy Chin today? 13 tackles.
My man.
Mike
Great
Sanders still getting double-digit tackles. Frankie Louvu, 9 tackles. Jeremy Chin even had a nice sack. Bobby Wagner, 8 tackles. Jonathan Allen getting back into the fray. Crevonte with a sack. How about this defense? They bended a little bit today, but they didn't break, and they got off the field when they needed to, limiting them to field goals, and I believe even getting a 4th down stop on 4th and goal in the first half.
Yes, that's what I was saying. We was talking about that yesterday. Oh man, did the Patriots really fire Jerod Mayo? Is that facts? Oh man, I see. Alex.
Oh,
posted
is this okay?
that. Alex, what's up,
Okay.
man?
Hey, what's up, Alex?
Oh boy.
Okay. What's going on, man? Well, we'll get to that in a few minutes, I'm
Oh,
sure, because
snap.
we are. Yeah.
But you know what? I was talking to Shane. You know, I talk to Shane pretty much on a weekly basis, and he actually said this a couple weeks ago. He said it's not looking good for him, and I said, "Damn!" Off the first year, he said, "Yeah, it's not looking good." And I said, "Damn!" All right, and it looks like if Alex is factual, it looks like it happened. So that's unfortunate. One and done, black head coach. But yeah, but anyway, defense. Listen, when we don't have any legit guys on the perimeters in our secondary, gotta play Ben. Gotta be Ben, but don't break. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Alex, you hit it on the head, man. Appreciate you, man. But we had to play Ben, but don't break because we don't have any guys. Marshawn Lattimore still out. We don't have any guys that can lock up on the outside. You know, we got to mix up coverages because some guys do some things well, some guys don't. But you have to tackle. Number one, defense, tackle. Have to be able to tackle. Be a sure tackling defense. You know what I'm saying? You be surprised. The gap between a really good defense and an average defense is probably not that big of a gap. It's just a couple of missed tackles here and there. You know what I'm saying? Oh gosh, is this a statement? Oh gosh.
Go ahead, finish your thing, and then maybe I'll read the statement in my Robert Kraft voice if you want.
Christ. Okay. But yeah, just being it's a lot of tackles up there. That could be a good or bad thing because that means running back. It could mean running backs are getting to the second level, or it could mean guys are just flying around and getting tackles. And I see a lot of assisted tackles and things like that. So we got to be a short tackling defense because we don't have it on the back end. So we got to play a lot of bend but don't break. So it's been working out for us as of late, but the teams we play in the playoffs, all of them have pretty good offenses. So if we're not shored up on the tackling side of the game, we will get exposed. And you know what I'm saying, we don't want that.
Yeah, getting Marshawn Lattimore would be huge, getting him back as well, Crevonte. Special teams, Jamison Crowder did have a fumble. Zane Gonzalez 1 for 1, 2 for 2 in extra points. And Tressway, 3 punts inside the 20, 47.6 average. Just another day at the office for the special teams. Getting better each week with it seems to be some stability for the first time in a couple weeks.
It feels good because I hate, it's enough things to worry about. You know what I'm saying? On a team, you like to have one or two things that's like, hey, man, I'm good with this. Like before this year, like with Justin Tucker for the Ravens. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Generally speaking, still solid, still has a pretty good average. You can hang your hat on him, you know what I'm saying, 9 times out of 10. You know, offensively, defensively, you want to be able to hang your hat on something, and it's looking like this is solid. You know what I'm saying? Almost dependable. I'm gonna say solid, not quite all the way. I don't have to worry about it, but it's solid. Gonzalez seems to be good going into the playoffs. We're going into warm weather. If we play the Rams, that'll be pretty much inside, pretty much as far as like the field. Do they is it a dome out there? So far, I haven't been.
It's not a dome, but it's a nice turf, I believe, and all of that stuff.
Right. So it's not like Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
So that field is hopefully it's better for kicking the weather. So nothing we got to worry about as opposed to when we have to go to Philadelphia You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna be cold. Who knows? It might be inclement weather. You know, so I feel good about the special teams, at least the kicking side of the game, moving forward.
Well, Crevonte, let's go right into that before we go around the league on this final week 18 Sunday. You're going to face either the Rams or the Buccaneers. You played. I don't think you've played. Hold on. Did you play either team this year? Let me double check that.
Well,
Played the Buccaneers week
played
one.
the first game of the year.
Week one. And that was Jaden Daniels' first game. You guys lost 37-20. Completely different. Well, both of you guys are completely different now. But Jaden Daniels was nothing. A completely unknowing rookie then. Now he's damn near not even a rookie anymore. It's like he's a sophomore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He is very, very mature. And we have to remember that he's I want to say he just turned 24 in December. So he has some maturity, a lot of experience and a lot of maturity for him to be a rookie, and he's taking everything all in, even with his touchdown throws, him being clutch. It's like everybody's going crazy around him, and he's like another day at the office. Like, this is what I do. You know what I'm saying? That's the vibe I'm getting from Jaden Daniels, which is amazing because we haven't had a guy that's like that, you know what I'm saying, quite some time. So it feels good. It feels really really good to have a guy like that leading the team.
Yeah, looking at this first game, Crevonte, Baker Mayfield, 4 touchdowns, was only sacked once.
Ugh.
Of course, Jaden Daniels, he only was just getting started there, rushed for 88 yards. Godwin was healthy then. Remember, no Godwin, but you guys held Mike Evans to 61 yards, but 2 touchdowns. So high-powered Bucs offense against that Commanders defense. That may be the difference in the game if you guys play again.
Yeah, Mike Evans is going. He just got a little he got some incentives today because he
like
hit
2 million?
1,000 yards. Say it again.
It's like 2 million or something. It's like 2 million, I think.
What was it?
I think it's like a million or 2.
It probably was like $1 million. Probably $1 million. Oh, it could have been 2 because 1,000 yards. That type of incentive I think would constitute like $1 million. But he achieved 1,000 yards receiving for the 11th time, I believe.
Jerry Rice.
So yeah. So I mean, he's all but a Hall of Famer. He's a walking Hall of Famer at this point because he's similar to Jerod Mayo. He's been doing it with a bunch of who's at quarterback outside of that gap with Tom Brady. Because it was Jameis Winston, Baker Mayfield, Tom Brady, and I don't know who it was before that, but he's very, very consistent.
Well, we will see later on tonight as I will be live after the Vikings and Lions breaking down the playoff schedule for next weekend, wild card weekend, which will be an epic weekend. So we'll know when, where, and who the Washington Commanders play, either the LA Rams or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Make sure to vote on the poll. Let me know your thoughts down below. But we do have breaking news, Crevonte, and it is from New England. We just got the word from a good Flex Zone family member, Alex. I do have the statement here. Robert Kraft. I think I'm going to read it, Crevonte, then I'll get your thoughts on this whole situation. Because I feel like he just told him that he was good to go, but
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's cue the music up before we get this on the. If we can see here, make sure you guys hit that like button. Statement: Patriots Chairman and CEO Robert Kraft. Remember, Crevonte, not only is he the chairman, but he's also the CEO.
That's right.
After the game today, Crevonte, I informed Jerod Mayo. Jerod, you will not be returning as the head coach of the New England Patriots in 2025. Personally, this was one of the hardest decisions I have ever made. No, not harder than letting Tom Brady go. That's cap, because Tom Brady's the GOAT. Nothing will ever overcome that, Crevonte.
Nothing.
I have known Jerod for 17 years. He earned my respect and admiration as a rookie in 2008 and throughout his career. For his play on the field, his leadership in the locker room, and the way he conducted himself in the community. When he joined our coaching staff, his leadership was even more evident as I saw how the players responded to him. When other teams started requesting to interview him, not sure who those teams are, I feared I would lose him and committed to making him our next head coach. But I knew he couldn't fill the shoes of Bill Belichick. Oh, I don't think he said that. I'm sorry.
Oh, snap. He didn't say that.
Okay. I think just read things. Winning our season opener on the road, Crevonte. They beat Cincinnati on the road. Probably the reason the Bengals aren't in the playoffs is because they lost in week 1.
Absolutely.
And not only that, he won today. I think costing him possibly the number 1 pick. We'll get to that. Unfortunately, the trajectory of our team's performance throughout the season did not ascend as I'd hoped. Since buying the team, I've always considered myself and my family as custodians of public asset. We have a tremendous fan base, and we expect and deserve a better product than we delivered in recent years. I apologize for that. I've given much thought and consideration as to what actions I can take to expedite our return to championship contention and determined this move was the best option at the time. I am grateful for Jerod's many contributions to the New England Patriots throughout his career and always be rooting for his success, just not here. I appreciate all his hard work and hope the experience he's gained will help him in the future, as I still believe he will be a successful coach in this league. I wish Jerod and his family nothing but success in the future, Crevonte. Jerod Mayo, 1 year as New England head coach. And in the words of Vince McMahon, unfortunately, before Black Monday, Crevonte, there you go.
So wait, can you tell me the backstory of this song? I'm not familiar, but I see the trend when you're delivering bad news. This is on the back row. What is the backstory?
Yes, Red Skies. The name of the song is called Red Skies. If you listen to the lyrics, I don't know why I even try anymore. It's like it's a sad, when something is sad and depressing, you just listen to the words of the song when you're having a bad day, when your team loses, when you're delivering sad news, or we're just talking about AEW and those terrible individuals down there in Jacksonville. It's a great song, but it's just, the somber mood just encapsulates it. So Red Skies, shout out to Dr. Disrespect, a famous streamer, by the way, but he makes music. So copyright free and copyright friendly, and we love it on the Flex Zone.
Absolutely. Because I was about to ask, I was like, we good to just keep playing it? Because you know how YouTube get.
Yeah, so Red Skies, yes, it's, if you don't know.
Okay. Well, it's unfortunate.
It fits, right? It fits
it always fits. That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all be on it, man. Yeah, it's like y'all know, it's like, hit the music. And then I hear this and I'm like, oh, it's about to be something. But it's unfortunate. Absolutely unfortunate. I hate when head coaches, especially black head coaches, get a raw deal like this, a 1 year, what are we talking about deal, and just got a rookie quarterback. And I've been on record by saying this: rookie head coach, rookie quarterback is usually a terrible combination, especially year 1, because neither one of them know what they're doing. So if they don't know how to necessarily put a team around them, then it's going to look something similar to this. So maybe it's something more. Maybe he was losing the locker room. I don't know what the disconnect was, but you had to be doing a pretty bad job to be let go year 1. Either that or, like I said, he got a raw deal. But I hate to see guys go down like that in year 1, because it's like, I don't think it's really a big enough sample size unless he was doing something egregious, like Urban Meyer when he was in Jacksonville. What he was doing, egregious, absolutely terrible. I don't think from the Panthers, Coach Frank.
Oh, yeah, Frank Wright.
Coach Frank Wright. I don't think he deserved that. I don't think he deserved to get. He got fired like after 10, 11 games or something like that. That's dumb. That's just dumb. And it means a lot of times it be poor management. But I don't think the Patriots are poorly managed. I just think they're still trying to figure themselves out post Tom Brady and post Bill Belichick. filling both of those shoes are going to be tough. So that's yeah. I don't know what else to say. It's unfortunate, but Jerod Mayo back out here on these streets, and I don't know if he'll get another look.
Well, they keep talking about, you hear is first, all you see in the threads is Mike Vrabel. So I guess, is he the successor? Another former Patriots linebacker?
He has experience, so Mike Vrabel makes more sense. But you know, I don't know. At this point, I didn't even know that this job would become available. I didn't think they were gonna fire him year one, because I think we both heard the same thing earlier this year. Like, he was good. Excuse me, but this job is another job that's available. And technically, this is kind of in season because he didn't make it to Monday. So I don't know, but Mike Vrabel is probably the clear choice. He's the closest thing to Bill Belichick that they've known. So I don't know.
Yeah, real quick to that. Let's go to that. The Patriots lose to the Bills today, 23-16, and we do have Crevonte.
Wait, did they lose or did they win? They won.
Yeah, they won, which cost them the number one pick. So that's why people are like, well, he didn't lost the number one pick. Now, Crevonte, we have the top 5 order of the draft officially in. Titans 1, Shador Sanders or Cam Ward. Browns number 2. I mean, they're probably going to draft another quarterback. Oh boy, feel sorry for one of those guys. The Giants at 3, so they may, for the second straight year, Crevonte, not get a quarterback. So I know you love to see the Giants continue to suffer. And the New England Patriots now dropped to 4, so no Travis Hunter, which was probably like, oh, we'll take Travis Hunter to put on the team. And the Jaguars at 5.
I mean, you know, that's probably not the worst thing. I mean, you much rather have the number 1 pick, but I mean, they should just pick the best offensive lineman and start from there. Really and truthfully. It's just that at number 1, you could possibly sell the pick, and now you lose the opportunity. So being at 4 is not the worst thing in the world, but you would have rather move from 1 to 4 and get draft capital instead of just being at 4. But as far as prospects, they could just take who's the best prospect offensive line? Will Campbell at Oregon, probably.
I know Texas has a couple guys they were talking about during their game, offensive line wise. Wide receiver, I think Arizona State might have a guy. It could be a lot of options at 4. You know, whoever falls to them.
It is. So I mean, but you might as well start. You have Drake May. He's showing promise. Start with the offensive line. So at 4, you just pick the best offensive lineman. I don't know if you can sell that pick, because by that time the top 3 will be gone, with Shador, Cam Ward, and Travis Hunter will be gone. So you can't really sell that pick because there's nobody, you know, of that high of value. So at that point, you probably just pick the best offensive lineman and call that a day.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
The Titans was at 1. Jaguars at 5. What are the Jaguars going to do? Oh boy.
Who
I don't know. I think that's another team. They're going to fire Doug Peterson tomorrow. So that'll be another position opening. Sheesh. And the Browns. The Browns
They say Kevin Stefanski is good, and he's actually a really good coach. 2-time coach of the year.
I like Stefanski. I like him. It's just,
I think they fired the offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey though today.
Damn. Ken Dorsey got fired from the Bills too, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes.
Ken Dorsey keep getting a raw deal himself, but I like Kevin Stefanski. If they stay healthy and they get their quarterback, because, you know, really and true, they have one of the better offensive lines in the league. So usually we're having one of the better offensive lines comes with a pretty good running game. And Stefanski is pretty good with, you know, calling offense. But if they can solidify that quarterback position while still paying Deshaun Watson, they can compete in their division. But it's ugly over there. But again, management is poor. That doesn't matter what great pieces you have. If management is poor, it's not gonna reach its potential.
What do you think about the Bills heading into the playoffs, Crevonte? 13-4, number 2 seed.
They have a great shot. But unfortunately, it goes through Kansas City. So you're going to have to beat Patrick Mahomes. And for them, it has to be again. So, we saw this happen before. You beat him in the regular season, who cares? You lose them in the playoffs. That's when all the marbles are on the table. So the Bills, crazy enough, I thought their Super Bowl window was closed. And all of a sudden, their number 2 pick, they beat Patrick Mahomes. They gave Patrick Mahomes his only loss this year, really. I think they're probably gonna lose today. I think the Broncos are killing them right now, but Patrick Mahomes obviously not playing. So one loss on Patrick Mahomes' record. And so I think the Ravens and the Bills have the best shot to take down the Chiefs, but will they? But the Bills, this is their best shot. Their best shot is to date to get over that hump and get to Super Bowl and win it.
Yeah, it'll be intriguing. Bills and Ravens are 2 and 3 seed respectively, so they could meet in the divisional round. So we'll see how that plays out. Eagles win again. Crevonte beat the Giants 20-13. Giants, as mentioned, they are now number 4, and the Eagles 14-3. Or the Giants are number 3, excuse me. So I guess could the Giants get Travis Hunter? I don't know.
He will fall in their lap. He will fall in their lap. So I mean, do they want to sell the pick? Could they possibly sell 3 Travis Hunter to anybody, or should they might as well take him? They got Malik Neighbors. Maybe have Travis Hunter play corner, and start over on the defensive side, or he can play wide receiver every now and then, and y'all can have 2 guys. But I think Travis Hunter would probably be better at corner. But we'll see. But they have the options to take him or sell the pick, depending on if anybody wants to jump up to take Travis Hunter. But it's up to them. They could just take Travis Hunter and just move on.
Eagles are the number 2 seed, and they will play the Packers. That is going to be an interesting matchup because I think Christian Watson also go to the Packers, who lost to the Bears 24-22 on the last second field goal, left with a knee injury.
That's not good. And Jordan Love has been not as healthy, it hasn't been really healthy this year. So like I said, the Packers are truly limping into the playoffs. So I don't think that playoff matchup is going to go well for the Packers.
Real quick, Falcons couldn't even beat the Panthers, man. You gotta love what you're seeing from Bryce Young and the Panthers. The end of the season, Michael Penix had 300 yards today, but the Falcons are going to Falcon, Crevonte. I think Penix has a bright future, but is Raheem Moore going to get a long leash in Atlanta, another brother? And the Panthers seem to be maybe on the ascend. We know the NFC South is a winnable division every year. They got 5 wins this year. Probably didn't even see that much for them, especially after they benched Bryce Young early in the season. They get 5. I don't know. Maybe they can get 7 or 8 next year. Be right in the mix.
So yeah, like you said, the division is weak for the most part. Probably the second worst division in the league, or first or second, I don't know. It's one of the Souths. With the AFC or NFC, they're probably the 2 worst divisions in football, and quite winnable. This is one of those divisions where you could go from last to first, because the gaps are small between each team. And I've said it a couple weeks ago. I love what I'm saying from Bryce Young. I did not want to give up on him so early in his career. He didn't deserve that. And we know he knows how to play football. He played at Alabama. Like, the boy knows how to play football. He's a little undersized, but he knows how to play football. And if you put some pieces around him, look at him turn around with that confidence. Turn around. He looks like Lamar Jackson did that when he threw the touchdown to Bates. As soon as he threw it, he put that one up. He was like, Bates. I know my man gonna catch it. That
and when you're confident as a quarterback, Crevonte, when you're confident, you got a coach that believes in you.
You see it. The production, you'll see it on the field. You will absolutely see it on the field, and you can see the change from Bryce Young. And I love that he's finally got past that weird whatever his first year or so, and he's here now. So Canales
5 total touchdowns today. 3 in the air, 2 on the ground.
and their coach Canales.
Yep, from Tampa. Look what he did for
So
Baker.
you're right. So I like where Bryce Young is going, and I hope they continue to build. Falcons, on the other hand, these are things that the Falcons do. I think Michael Penix's future is bright in Atlanta, but the Falcons do have games like this from time to time. So, am I surprised? I'm surprised at the spot in which they lost, but I'm not surprised that they lost. The Panthers have pretty much been, what I'm saying, even the games where we think, oh, they're gonna get blown out. No, they be in the game. You know what I'm saying? So the Panthers and Bryce Young look a lot better, and the Falcons are doing what I thought they would. And look at the Broncos.
Yeah, I guess we can go there. I guess it looks like the Broncos will be the 7th seed going to Buffalo. Since we talk about Buffalo, good defense. We know Josh Allen, he can do it all. A one man. I mean, if I'm being honest, we talk about the MVP. Like I said, I don't really care about it, but from a value perspective, if we take Josh Allen off of the Bills, they're probably a 4-win team. So this is going to be an interesting matchup. The Broncos are used to cold weather. They play in a cold area. Bo Nix is just as probably the second and most impressive rookie outside of Jaden Daniels, especially at quarterback. Their defense, Patrick Surtain, remembered how good we talked about he would be. He's living up to that. It's going to be interesting in Buffalo. If the defense of Buffalo of the Broncos can play like we know they can, it could be an interesting game.
Oh, absolutely, because Bo Nix can play. And that offense is not great, but it's getting better. The thing is, find a way to neutralize Josh Allen. That's the name of the game. If they find a way to do that, I think they can find a way to score, because the Bills' defense isn't, overly dominant. So they can find ways to score. And plus, Sean Payton, as a play caller, he'll put them in good spots to win. It's just the number one thing on the list, on a priority list, Josh Allen. Neutralize him. Make him he's going to be Josh Allen. But find a way to contain him will be, the number one thing. And if they find a way to do that, muck up this game, who knows? It might snow. I don't know. But
it is supposed to snow, actually, contest. Funny you said that.
Look at
Or
that.
No winter weather advisory, whatever news outlet you want to go with. We're supposed to get a snowy covering tonight until tomorrow, I believe, until 4 a.m. So there you go.
Well, look at that. So Bo Nix, let's see how he plays in this in that type of weather. He should be used to it by now, so weather shouldn't be much of a factor. But if it's windy, got to depend on that run game. So it's going to be interesting. I think the Bills are still going to win, but just because of experience. But the Broncos should make it interesting.
Chargers win, they go to Houston. Crevonte and the Steelers will come to Baltimore, I believe. So that'll be interesting.
Oh man. Well, the Steelers have not looked great as of late. So that's cool. That's cool for Baltimore. But the Steelers and Ravens, how they get down. It's always close. For the most part, because I kind of kicked their butts last time. I think George Pickens was out. But the Steelers are limping into the playoffs too. So if you don't catch the Steelers, this is not a terrible time to catch them. And then they would have to travel to Baltimore. So I do like the Ravens in that matchup, but the Steelers and Ravens are going to be the Steelers and the Ravens. The Chargers would have to go to Houston. I think the Chargers keep going. Houston is not a good team right now, and they won a terrible division. So they're going to be in the 4th spot. They're going to host the home game, but I don't think it's going to matter. I think Jim Harbaugh and them boys are going to roll up in there and run all over them.
And the Texans did win today over the Titans, 23-14. Titans number 1 pick. Texans number 4 seed. It's going to be an interesting game. Can your boy CJ Stroud? 2 young quarterbacks that we like, Herbert and Stroud, going to do battle. I think a big postseasons for both potentially.
I love CJ, and even though he's had a sophomore slump, in a way, they still won a division. Still found a way to win a division is pretty cool. Now, we already talked, both South divisions are not great, but you win a division, you get a playoff spot. That's how it goes. So, I hope he does well, but it just the way things have been looking, they haven't looked great as of late. So, I'm definitely going to go with the Jim Harbaugh, Justin Herbert combo.
Jaguars and Colts. Jaguars, we know they got Trevor Lawrence. Look, he's going to be the quarterback. New coach, probably. The Colts, though, do they have a quarterback situation? Is Flacco the guy? Anthony Richardson didn't play. Could they go out and maybe try to go get somebody? They have a good roster. I mean, they can get you 8 wins, as we can see. But they don't have that guy at quarterback.
They need to, whoever they pick, they need to stick with them. Because I tell you right now, I don't think Anthony Richardson is it. He's still entirely too raw. Excuse me. He's not it as a quarterback. Like, he needs a whole lot of work. And if you're trying to win now, he's not the guy. So do you want to keep him as the backup and let Flacco, whatever he has left in the tank, you do that for another year and possibly have Anthony Richardson maybe pop out in a couple years? Do you have that type of time? Because this is how people lose their jobs. So I don't know. I don't think they have a what's it called, a quarterback controversy necessarily, because I think it's no doubt that Flacco is the better quarterback. But how much does Flacco have left in the tank? We talking about Flacco won the Super Bowl 12 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, how much football you think you have left in him? And you got a young guy that's just not ready. So they're in a weirdly interesting spot. And the Jaguars, I don't know. I don't know who the next coach is going to be, but at least you got your quarterback.
Seems like more openings potentially than legit candidates, Crevonte, in my opinion. I know we talk about Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, I guess Cliff Kingsbury, Todd Monken with Baltimore, maybe. I don't know. That's like maybe 5 guys. Maybe I don't know. It's going to be
crazy.
more jobs than legit candidates.
Ain't that
my
crazy?
Opinion.
That's how the job market should be. So people can work, but make sure everybody get a job. But now it's gonna be some positions. Somebody's gonna pop out that we don't expect. If the Jets pick Ron Rivera, they may get Goofy of the Year for 2025. I'm telling you right now. If they pick Ron Rivera as their next head coach, Jets are booking for top 3 right now. But yeah, man, I don't know who's going to fill all these positions, because what about the Raiders? Are the Raiders going to keep Antonio Pierce? Possibly, hopefully.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, all these jobs popping out, because every year, Byron, it's always about 7. It's always about around that 7-8 mark every year. So we only know about 4 legit candidates. So who knows?
And one of them went to college too, Bill Belichick.
And one of them went to college. Ain't that terrible?
Oh man. Oh boy. Let's get to the Bucks. They win 27-19, winning NFC South for the 4th straight year. More importantly, Mike Evans, Crevonte, 11 straight seasons of 1,000 yards, etching his name pretty much like you see here in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's all but there. Whenever he retires 5 years, or if they change it to your duration of time, I know in the NBA they did, but he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Like, the consistency and the production speaks for itself. He's been a dog pretty much since day one, and I loved his back and forth with Marshawn Lattimore. Man, they used to go at it, man, and they was playing twice a year back in those days. But Marshawn Lattimore is now in the NFC East, so they won't see each other as often, but who knows? They might meet in the playoffs. That'll be interesting. But Mike Evans is a model of consistency, and he's the furthest thing from a diva. You really don't hear much noise coming from Mike Evans, but that production is there.
Look at the numbers there, 105 career touchdowns with that, and a Super Bowl ring. Tom Brady was doing the game today, so very nice to see that come full circle. Also, don't know if I really got anything else from the around the NFL. Crevonte, 49ers and Cardinals are tied at 17. Oh, Aaron Rodgers threw his 500th career touchdown in the game currently going on with the Jets and the Dolphins. Dolphins, crazy enough, still kind of alive, but with the Broncos win, that kind of kills all of that. So
Exactly. So Aaron Rodgers is actually playing?
yeah, he's playing. He got 500 touchdowns. I don't know if he's still in the game, but he does have 500 touchdowns. Yes.
Oh boy. Okay. Because he's fizzling out kind of bad. I'd hate to see that from him, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it is halftime, I believe. But yes, and as you see, Broncos up 24-0. Chargers up 17-10. What do you think about the Seahawks, real quick, Crevonte? 10 wins potentially. Geno Smith, is he the guy?
Great. First year head coach and McDonald, you're familiar with him. Getting 10, if they're able to hold on, getting 10 wins in his first year is pretty damn good. Now, unfortunately, competition has gotten a little bit better, so 10 wins is not a guarantee for anything anymore in the NFC. But the defense is better. Is Geno Smith the guy moving forward? What else you got? You know what I'm saying? You're pretty much going to be picking in the mid to the mid in the middle of the draft. So I don't think quarterback is your biggest need, but I like Geno Smith. I like his transformation from what he was in New York to Seattle. So I say you run it back with him. Try to upgrade your roster in other places. But Mike McDonald, hell of a job, first year head coach, possibly getting 10 wins.
Cardinals and 49ers, I guess this is just for draft position, basically.
I think the Cardinals probably want this win just to kind of solidify them being in that middle of the pack, getting that 8th win. And well, it'll be 8 and 9 because we have an odd number of games. But they would like to end the year on a good note, and Kyler Murray will probably get some heat off of him a little bit if he can finish off with this win. The 49ers have some soul searching to do. They have a lot of soul searching to do because they had to pay Brock Purdy pretty soon, and their roster is very expensive. So they're not gonna be able to keep everybody, and they just paid Brandon Ayuk. They have to pay Brock Purdy. Trent Williams is going to want more money. Like, their roster is very, very expensive, and their window probably has officially closed when it comes to competing for a Super Bowl, unfortunately. So they kind of washed out pretty fast.
Tonight's the night, Crevonte. Sunday night, Vikings, Lions. Sunday night football. First matchup of teams with 13 or more wins in NFL history. I don't think we can hype this game up anymore, but it seems like it's going to be a matchup of the ages on Sunday night before we get ready for the playoffs.
This is how you're supposed to end the NFL season. Two teams going at it, just so having to be in the same division, going for the number 1 seed. This is crazy. Both with 14 wins. This is crazy. First in history. It's crazy to think that a 14-win team is going to be the 5th seed. That's absolutely crazy. And I like them against. If they somehow get to the 5th seed, looks like somebody's going to get a bye, and somebody's going to be playing the Buccaneers, maybe. So
yeah, the 5. Yeah, it could be interesting to see how this plays out, because I think I'm intriguing of how the tiebreaker with the Rams and Buccaneers go, because they would both have the same record. So
right. So and I picked the Vikings, man. I know they're favored by. I know the Lions are favored by 3, and I feel like that's just a home advantage. Favored by 3, so I think it's gonna be pretty even. So I'm going with the Vikings on this one to get this on the road and get the number 1 seed, man.
I did pick the Lions, but the defense scares me, as I've been saying, and I don't really trust Jared Goff. I don't even trust Jared Goff.
Injuries scare me, man.
If we're going with conference record, Rams are 6-5, and the Buccaneers are 8-4. So that will put the Buccaneers possibly over the Rams. So then we could get the Rams and maybe the loser of this game. That would be interesting.
Wow.
If we go by conference record for tiebreaker, I don't know if they changed it, but I remember it used to be.
It's a lot though. It's like a 1 through 8 type of thing. They got whatever possible way it can tie. They have like a different scenario for everyone. So it's a lot, but I think conference record is going to have something to do with it.
Well, Crevonte, that is all we got for this edition of the Washington Commanders postgame show, but that's not the end. We got a postseason edition coming everybody this week. Previews and post games once we find out all the information, which we'll break for you tonight after Sunday Night Football with the Vikings and the Lions. Crevonte, how you feeling about that?
Oh man, it's gonna be interesting. I think I'll tell you this. I think the AFC, the Texans, the game that the Texans are hosting is probably gonna be the first game. I think that's gonna be the first game of the week because you know how you get the highly sought after games and the popular games at night. The games that so put them on the early games, the 1 o'clock, the 4:30s. I think the Texans, whoever they play, I think that game is going to be the first game, the 4:30 on Saturday. I think that's going to be the first game.
On Prime? I think it might be on Prime too.
Okay, 7 at the 4:30 game.
Because it's a 4:30 and an 8, and then 1, 4, and 8 on Sunday.
Right.
And Monday night, of course, too.
So I think that game will be first, and both number 2 seeds are probably going to play on Sunday as well. I don't know which way, and you got to put Jaden Daniels on one of the night games. I don't know which one, but I feel like you got to put him on not Monday night, but either Saturday night or Sunday night. I feel like you at one of the night games.
Any night but Monday night, please.
Yeah, not Monday night. I think it's going to be it has to be Saturday or Sunday, and both 2 seeds are going to play on Sunday, I'm sure. And yeah, I think that's all I got for you. I don't know who's going to play Monday night.
I guess maybe the loser of this game plays on Monday night, maybe because they play Sunday night, maybe something like that.
I think so. But I think so. But if both 4 seeds matchups be first and last, I don't know what order, but first and last. Since the Texans, that game needs to be first, so that means the other 4 seed should be Monday night, the last one. So we could probably kind of guess a little bit of how we think the schedule is going to play out. But,
and Ravens Steelers would be prime time. I'm thinking Saturday night.
It probably Saturday night, right? If that's how it is, that'll be. So the Texans play first, and then the Ravens Steelers Saturday night. Jaden Daniels, the Commanders, and let's say the Rams Sunday night, and then both number 2 seeds for Sunday night, and then Bucks and whoever last. So we could probably pretty much guess. Let's see how accurate we are with that. But I think we could have a pretty healthy guess on how we think it's going to roll out.
Yes, a lot of content on the channel, Crevonte. And what do the people need to do if they're watching?
Oh man, like, subscribe, comment. We love the engagement. We have pre-games, post-games, wrestling, AEW, pre-game and post-games for the Ravens and Commanders. And we have bonus for the Commanders, at least. The Ravens are used to this. Commanders, not so much. But we have it for the Ravens and Commanders. At least one more for each. So that's going to be exciting. Tell a friend to tell their mama, to tell their grandma, tell their cousins and sisters and brothers. Because we're really building something over here, man. We love the engagement. But follow the channel for content, the Flex On Podcast, flagship show Monday nights, and we have things throughout the week. We got a lot of breaking news. Well, Byron, we have a lot of breaking news for firings and hirings coming up. So coming up for your breaking news and weekly content, man.
Yeah, man, we got a big week. Yeah, a lot of content coming up, man. Tomorrow, Raw on Netflix, the debut. Tuesday, we go live with the flagship podcast, previewing the playoffs. Wednesday, AEW. Got Commanders preview, Ravens preview. post-game shows for both, and more content in between there as well with all the other stuff going on. So hit the bell to know when new content drops. Make sure you guys vote on the poll. How far do the Commanders go? Like button, subscribe. You guys know the drill. For my co-founder, the Commanderlorain, Crevonte, Baby, the senior producer and captain of the Goofy Ship, God's favorite host. Thank you everybody for watching, staying with us as we have done throughout the regular season, starting this new part of content on the channel. So we appreciate you guys supporting us. More to come, hitting into the postseason and beyond, hopefully, which is a deep run for the Commanders. Crevonte, I'll let you sound off, brother.
Hey man, it's Commanders postseason sounds crazy, but I'm excited to see how we do on our first postseason. I'm doing my best to keep my expectations in check because we are ahead of schedule. I have to keep reminding myself of that. But 12 wins is a great feat. Haven't done it in over 30 years. They keep reminding us about the 1991 season, and which was our last Super Bowl season. Not saying we're going to go to the Super Bowl, but you gotta to get a chance, you got to be in the dance. So I love to see it from the Commanders. Ravens looking good, so it's good for our hometown teams. It's gonna be great moving forward, and keep checking us out for more and more content, man. It's gonna be good. As it's gonna be good watching the postseason unfold for football.
That's all we got. We'll see you tonight because we'll be breaking down the preview of Wild Card Weekend, giving you where the Ravens play, where the Commanders play, and each and every game, network, and opponent. For Crevonte, God's favorite host, thank you guys for all the support. We appreciate you. We out of here, y'all. See you tonight.
Peace.
Those haters can't stand us. Left hand